up, everybody? Redn87 here at the new work. Came foreman just like a week ago. There's this guy on the ranch that I work on now. I'm on a pistachio ranch now instead of almonds. There's a guy that his name is gTime Johnny. He has a YouTube channel, almost 4,000 subscribers. He's a super intelligent guy that just lives off the land out here, and we're gonna do an interview with him later. He knows all about it, so it won't be like a surprise or nothing, but it's gonna be really interesting, and hopefully we can continue it like a weekly or bi-weekly thing and see what happens. Enjoy. We're gonna go find him. What's up, everybody? Coming up on gTime Johnny. We found him. He's driving around for a while. We're gonna pick him and his dogs up. Let's park and say hello. This guy's cool, man. Check it out. Right?
Does it get pretty good gas mileage?
He gets excellent gas mileage.
Right
What's
on,
up?
brother.
This is gTime Johnny, YouTube. This is Redn87 with gTime Johnny. We're gonna start these interviews going.
Oh gosh. You're
Find out about
gonna
this
ruin
man's
my
life.
anonymity. You're gonna ruin my anonymity. Nah.
He's got it. He's a cool dude, man.
Oh, I love you guys.
That was a good shot right there.
Yeah, you ready? Man.
Check this out. Damn.
Balance is off. They're almost good for goat heads. But when you live, you know, every child should know how to live wild, because you have to be happy with nothing to be happy with something.
That's right.
You know, and so it takes, you know, that the minimal. If you're not happy with minimal, how are you going to be happy with everything? And that's why I really honor you, Joshua. It's like you took a step back. You know, I was like, wait, is this really living?
Well, I had nothing too. You know, I lived behind Denny's in the rocks since I was 15 to 28.
No shit.
You know, yeah.
Right on. So you know.
Yeah.
That was why. And so yeah, you know is also universal native object logic, which is, you know, will be very technically explained. It's the mechanics behind psychology. And so I've been out here knowing the internet changed everything. That you know, you got the world's knowledge right here at your fingertips. Anything you want to know, right here, and you can make your own decisions based on it. Well, the internet is a new organism on this earth. And I'm a healthy cell next door. I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. All right, what's up, everybody? So we found him. This is gTime Johnny, famous on YouTube, almost 4,000 subscribers. He's been out here for about, I don't know, 12 years plus, maybe.
His name's Joshua. Joshua.
Yeah, that's
He's
my
a
real
spy. A spy.
So he agreed to do an interview with us. He's been my dad's friend for a long time, and my dad's friend, and all that stuff.
Gosh.
So
They grew up together.
they grew up together. So this is very exciting for me. This is a very intelligent man.
No,
he's got
no.
a different form of intelligence.
That's private definition. Private intelligent. Well, what's that? Well, private definition is a lot of wrong with our processing. I'm American. Well, can you point at it?
Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
We're just going improv.
We're just getting improv.
I'll get off set.
All right, so where were you born?
Merced. But that was because Chowchilla didn't have a hospital. And then, so they moved us down in there. And, you know, my grandfather was actually the one who worked at the start of the Chowchilla Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Weholt. And so I grew up in Chowchilla, dead center of Central Valley. Same with you.
Nice.
and you know, and when I wasn't with my dad running service calls and pump calls and stuff, I was either at the library or a shop rat.
Right on.
I don't know if you know, but I have one of the guys. This is for legacy stuff. Willard Goodrich. Have you ever heard that song, Ballad of Curtis Lowe? I took my money and gave it to Curtis Lowe. And, you know, he played the songs for him. Well, this guy was like, you know, machinist. That was badass. Everybody treated him like crap. But, you know, he knew, you know, he was the best of the best. He was like the kind of guy I like working with. My dad put him out there and you know, got out of the way. And so that's the kind of people that we always want to be around. People that are bigger than us.
Did your parents grow up in Merced too?
No, Chowchilla. Well, my mom's from somewhere else. My dad was adopted. He came out of the Philippines.
Okay.
Out of the Philippines, and when my mama, when my grandma got him, he like fit in a shoebox. But my grandpa didn't really like color skin, and so what happened is that my dad kind of raised himself in a lot of ways, like you too. You know, they raised himself, and he knew that the system was broken. And so, you know, he like, you know, one thing that my dad always had is, but I always said, he upped the love under all conditions, like a 4-year-old kid. You could beat on him, hate on him, you know, whatever, and they up the love, but they're always going to be honest too. And so, you know, and it's under all conditions, and that was like, and you know, and your father, you know, the Baker Farming and the Hansons, they were one for a long time, and my daddy was next door neighbors at the dairy.
So you guys all
out there in
Dairyland.
Out there in Dairyland, they did, and then and then I, you know, what was it? Do I look like I was born in 1962?
1862?
Yeah. Hey, they were a lot more free back then. Actually, think about it. Back in, let's see, we didn't have electricity to all of the houses until like 1915 or so, right? And you know, that's when that's when a big leap happened. Was from 1900 to 1915 as far as evolution is concerned, and a lot of that happened because of the books. We were able to get books because of the railroads. They got books to everybody, and so that's why you'll see like a lot of very intelligent, you know, that pop out in that era, you know, like when Einstein, all that, you know, that era. And so this is another era because the internet connected all the data around the world, and so these fantasies lived as fact are being exposed. Are you man?
Am I a man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in a fantasy as fact. You live in a fantasy as fact. No background, no foreground. Well, we can do species. We can do species. Galileo proved 380 years ago. That's kind of right in the same realm. Anyway, that we are a species orbiting sun. And so Galileo defined child natural rights to growth. And they got to be supplied or else we're going to continue down like we're going. You know, everybody's living this fantasy as fact. You know, I'm American, and it's, you know, I'm artificially timed environment. I'm 8. I'm in an artificial timed environment, and it's, what is it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday? What time is it?
I don't have a watch.
But that automation that's going on, and this has happened since we were kids, and it's kind of what I tell Joshua when he first read, it's line by line, since you were born, line by line, in a straight line. Every book you've ever read, everything you've seen on TV and you read, everything on the internet you said, have you read enough to go all the way around the world? Has any other species processed data like that? Or are we showing any concern for our base logic and what made that? We got work to do.
We got some work to do. Tell me about your mom.
My mom, I love my mommy. She's tenacious, just as tenacious as could be. I mean, my mom and dad got divorced, and mommy was like mama bear and grabbed us kids. We went to the Bay Area, and she's like, you ended up, you know, when Gap was first starting out, and took care of all the accounting and stuff, and before, you know, but I missed being a shop rat, and so as I went back to Chowtown, you know, me and Dad, I lived with him until, I have to say it, until like my senior year of high school. I had to leave Chowchilla because I would have got busted selling dope. And so,
It happens, man.
well, I mean, when you're a professional skier, you make all these connections. I was getting popped from Humboldt. I have to run up that way, and then I'll go grab some L at Haight Ashbury. And
Let's go back to you being a professional skier. What's that about?
well, I mean, I was a little kid, and all I remember is going out to Eastman Lake and Chowchilla, and my daddy skiing and stuff like that. And I never water skied on tour. One, I saw him starting, and that's how I did. I just was a little kid. I got on my daddy's ski, and I stood there, and he was a good driver, I get, because I didn't never ski before. I started for the first time. I go, hey, I like this. But I got in trouble because I went outside the wake. They were worried I wasn't going to make it all the way back around. I go, no. And so then that was the same tenacity that came out of my mom. Ended up here making me like, all I wanted to do was ski. So all summer I'd spend on the San Joaquin, and that's why I got really comfortable. That's all I know is that I worked at a water ski school. I guess I just served at a water ski school. I didn't get paid. I just got to ski for free. And I was a better teacher than my coach. He would put the data in me, scientifically, that I'd go and merge with the psychological. And so that translated into me. As soon as I was over 18, I go, I think I'll go add snow skiing to it. And so by the time I was 30, I either water skied or snow skied half the days of my life. And I made it, early on, I said to myself, okay, at 25, are we good?
Good? I want to make sure we're on. Because last night we recorded with the band, and it didn't record. We're like, oh, we just pressed stop. But we're going.
I mean, did you stub your toe?
If that's what you told me.
The same thing. I'm not going to take a step. I might stub my toe. So anyway, I made a thought inside myself at like early on when I left and headed up the mountain to go skiing, water and stuff, like half the days of my life, and that's that state of flow that gets taken from us as children. When that voice in the head starts taking over, we're in the psychologically in the zone, athletically. State of flow is the psychological state, and that's like doggies and kitties and how we're supposed to be. But then when the voice in our head that should have no say starts having say, that's when we're like, and so anyway, I was going to go down and do business because I always studied commercials, and ever since that voice in my head first said, "You're smarter than them dogs," I go, and I go, no, but it was on. and so I've been studying the psychological nature of our species since I was, first there. And I was going to come down at 25, but I bailed and I skied till 30. And I came down and did business around age 30 or so, and then I just kept building bigger and bigger companies. A window cleaning company, an alarm company. So I only had a few people at the window cleaning company, and it's like, oh, this is kind of a pain protecting employees. Let's go bigger. I did an alarm company, and then I did a manufacturing company. It was really fun. I was pretty good with the first SolidWorks, where the first 3D modeling that you could pass off to machinists, and stuff like that. And so the farmer would come and sit down, and this is when you guys were going from 8, 10, 12 foot rows to 6, and all the implementation changed. And so I got to revamp and redesign a lot of stuff, and our special place. Our place was kind of special because we did the one-offs. Like you could take this to any manufacturing company you want, have them copy it. Here's the blueprint. Yeah. We want to do what's never been done, and I kept doing that. I had a great group of guys. Because I'd tell the farmer, I go, "This is what you want, right?" And he'd go, "No, that's what I want." Well, I'm going to give it to these guys in the shop, and it ain't coming back like that. He'll come out better, And so, let's see what that was like. That was part of the deal, and that way I don't, it's like when doing business or anything we do, the more that we're a midget, the more free we are. Where I don't want to be in charge.
Got a lot more responsibilities and all that.
Well, no, that it's an act. You got to be just like the cells in our body. We got to, each one's empowering the next one. It's serving, like our heart. Our heartbeat serves, the dominion. Mass serves the dominion. Music serves the dominion. Dominion serves language. Where's Middle East on the basketball? Huh? Middle East on the basketball. Your life is based on Middle East on a basketball, man. And so it's like a man is a fantasy lived as fact. I mean, you know, when I use the word, that's west and that's east, I go, well, these are concepts. You know, no background, no foreground. Whereas like if we go species, reset the growing conditions for the children, as species, we're gonna get the best life. I mean, oh my gosh. We're scientific over here, we're right here in the San Joaquin Valley, where the greatest farmers in the world, the greatest science is applied. But if farmers grew children like they grow crops, or like adults grow children, then farmers would grow children on their head, feet in the air, and living for the dead. You know, we did plant them upside down. Or here's another one for farming. Oh yeah, when children become adults, they become rotten fruit, and we're proof.
Yeah, that's true. That's one of those true facts.
I've said that right in when I was in town practicing and doing stuff, right in line in the grocery store. I'd say that to a little kid. I go, when children become adults, they become rotten fruit, and we are proof. And all the adults would laugh. So don't do it. You know, not like, yeah, that's the whole concept of man and all the baggage that is put into our minds. You know, because all of the knowledge that we're passing on needs an update like computer science. Because in computer science, we update stuff all the time. You know, this wouldn't work.
My phone gets updated every 5 minutes.
Well, that's because you're using a closed source program on that phone. Now, if you're using Android, you can choose when you update.
Yeah. I just got to turn off all automatic updates, but it still says, do you want to update?
No, but then you don't get to use it. You can't have this sort. What they do, that's what the updates is, they take away certain things you use until you got to go, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's you know, that's the same for like, you know, let's go here, but maybe close on this one, is that, if you know, being that we are, you know, the move your finger model internet, that's, you know, yeah, it's never going to change. And, you know, these cells aren't lying to each other. They're not living that way. You know, that every thought that we have has to have that background and foreground to make decisions from. And that if you look at, you know, our job, and we're starting today, Joshua, our job is to cure the cancer of man era.com. That's what it stands for. .com is cancer of man, because we're not life anchored at this earth. We're going to be life anchored here, not in an artificially timed environment. 2021 hypnotic.
And on that note, this is going to be the end of the first interview.
We're going to do a lot.
We're going to do a lot, though, but this was fun.
I love it.
And then we're going to do different backgrounds, too. Like, this is the river and whatnot, you know, everything. And we got the whole circle, the canal, all that, and just so much more we can show you.
Oh, gosh.
He's going to be here with us the entire time. This is gTime Johnny. This is Redn87. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe, and go to his channel too and do the same thing.
Well, you're going to be on the channel too. I'm going to release it on my channel too.
There we go.
Hi guys, miss you all.
Laters.